Hi guys, thank you for watching this video on the Mottai trading platform. Designed by FlexTrade in partnership with FP Markets, this is one in a series of short videos in which we'll touch on as many sales points and platform features as possible without taking up too much of your time. So why did we start this project and what are we looking to achieve? Well, most ASX traders were familiar and were comfortable with the old Irish Trader platform. Although a very simple platform, what it did well, and as this was decommissioned, this left a lot of traders and a lot of FP Markets clients in need of an alternative. And traditionally, ASX traders have been underserved in terms of technology options, platform features to enhance their trading. So what we're looking to do is create a platform that provides all the standard features that you'd come to expect from trading platforms, but then continually develop new features on an ongoing basis that other platforms don't offer that make your life and your trading execution easier. And so this is particularly true for FP Markets clients. FP Markets offers, amongst other things, direct market access, stock CFD execution. And this provides access to leverage, low transaction costs, ability to trade both ways through short selling. So typically, but not always, clients who use this product will need more from their platform than your passive mum and dad style investor. In a high volatility, high volume trading environment, whether you're scalping the opening match, you're doing intraday swing, end of day trading, intraday fresh news based catalysts, whatever your strategy is, you need to be able to use common sense platform features quickly, efficiently, and in a way that's additive to your overall trading approach. So that's essentially what we're trying to provide here. So I'll jump into just exploring the platform very briefly. As you'd expect, you can have multiple workspaces in the Mottai platform. In the top left-hand corner, if you look at the FPM workspaces, we have a bunch of preset templates here that we control, that we put into the system to try to make your trading easier from day one, so you don't have to build these yourself. We have various execution-based workspaces like the one we're looking at now. Some slight variations on that if you're looking at charts or if you're looking at time and sales data. If you're using contingent orders, if you use the news component. Some traders will use this sort of platform in conjunction with another platform for charting, like maybe something for depth analysis like Spark. I mean, it's up to you. This platform can do it all, meet all the trading needs yourself, but you may use it in conjunction with something else. We have set some up for finding trading opportunities, which is very common. So looking at watch lists and different charts, and then you might have a specific charting workspace, or possibly if you're an intraday sort of a price action trader, you might be looking at the market depth itself. So you might have multiple ones of those. As you'd expect, you've got an easy to access universal options menu. It's the plus button that you see on every component here. Okay, so just click on the plus button, cycle through the different components that you're looking at and find all the options for those components. If you're on the positions component, you've got certain options. If you're on the buy ticket, you've got certain options. Okay, you can create your own workspaces here. So you can go to My Pages here, press the plus button, create a new composite page, call it test for this demonstration, and it's literally just drag and drop. It couldn't be easier to look through the component menu that you can see here now, the market data list, grab your market depth, drop it where you want, grab your positions component, drop it where you want, and then you just build this workspace out slowly, save it, and these are all fully customizable. You can have up to 12 workspaces of your own in the system and 12 programmed ones as well. So I'll just grab a few more things here just to show how quick it is to build these workspaces. You can split the components any way you want, vertically, horizontally, it's completely up to you. Just grab the orders in the top right, execution, top right as well. Okay, and there, and just by grabbing the ticket. Okay, now we've built what you were looking at before in a custom workspace environment. Okay, so moving on, let's look at the different ways to, just very briefly, you can obviously link all the components in this system, which I'll do now, just by giving them all another color, or a common color between all the components. Okay, so if you want them all to be linked in terms of putting a ticker code in one is like putting a ticker code in all of them. Here we're looking at NEU. If we change over to CHN, now they all change together. Okay, so that's setting up workspaces and looking at the different variety that's available to the trader to customize the platform. Let's look at different ways to trade. Okay, the simplest way to trade is to put a pod or a quick trade. You might be familiar with the word quick trade. Okay, a pod or a quick trade component into the system. It tracks the best bidder offer for the security you're looking at, and it just crosses the spread. It's very simple, getting in or out straight away. There's also a quick trade feature that you can stick on the chart. It's called trade from chart. I'll click it here. You can define your quantities. You've got a quick trade component in the top left hand corner of the chart. As I change around stock code, it'll change for me, and we can execute and cross the spread anytime we want. They're the simplest ways to trade. What's much more interesting is the embedded order ticket that you're looking at in the middle of the screen now. An embedded order ticket has much more information. It's much more customizable. Okay, it's a buy and sell ticket that doesn't disappear. You can change it by clicking on the ribbon at the top. You get a bit of pricing information here, how much the stock's up by, what percent. The M percentage figure shows you what FP margins that stock on. Obviously, we provide leverage, so the margin rate is the amount of cash you need of the overall position to take the trade, 10% on PLS. It is short sellable as well. We do around 350 to 400 short sellable stocks. It does change, but it gives you the ability to trade in all market conditions there. Okay, you've got some pricing buttons here, a bid volume, offer volume, last traded price. Click them at any time to enter them into the price column. And then just with the tickets, this ticket, it's got full tabbable logic. Shift tab goes backwards, it's circular, so it tabs around in a circle. Enter at any time, sends that order into the market. Okay, so that's a PLS order now, 1,000 units tab, 390. Okay, that's a little bit small, I'll enter that, 390, and you go into the market there. Fully customizable order tickets, what do I mean by that? You can have a small ticket in which you're just looking at the basic information, ticket code, volume, price, order type. You can click medium on this ticket. Now we add trade value, initial margin estimate, calculates that as you change the parameters. Okay, you can come in here and click on large, and now we get destination. So if you're a more sophisticated trader using ASX center point options, Chi-X options, Chi-X mid, or you're just using best execution, which sweeps all the venues for you. And you can change from day to good to cancel. Okay, so a lot of customization on that order ticket. Let's click plus. We can look at further customizations. Okay, you can decide for yourself whether you want any confirmations on your orders. You can decide any default quantities and quantity increments. There's a lot of customization you can do here for the execution management system. Moving on to the display of the ticket, if you want to put instrument shortcuts and quantity shortcuts, and that suits your trading style, that's something you can add in. What are they? Instrument shortcuts are literally just typing in stock codes into the options menu here, having them as tiles on your ticket, so you can quickly go from a buy in PLS to a sell in CXO, either at market to short now, above market to short later, back to a buy for AKE, sell, tab, 500 units, 1050, enter. Alright, so we're just trying to save you as many clicks as possible, make it the platform as keyboard friendly as possible, and make sure you don't have to keep going back from the mouse to the keyboard, etc., and then type in those stock codes. If you know the stock codes you're trading and you have the time to do the preparation, they may help. Volume shortcuts. These are both volume and value shortcuts. Okay, so if you know the common units that you're trading, 2K units here, 5K units here, you can use those numbers without typing them into the keyboard. You can also type in 12 and then hit T on the keyboard. That'll turn that into 1,000, right? So if you want 100,000 units, 100T. Okay, and if you want 2,000, 2T will do that for you as well. But if you're always trading in common units, you can use these keys just to make it a little bit quicker. If you do a long left click, it'll hold down and reset. And obviously, as you're clicking, you can see it's highlighted in blue. So anytime you can just overwrite yourself with any volume that you want. Again, with the value, if you're a value trader, not round units number, but dollar value, 10,000, 15,000, you can use these keys as well here. So it'll work out the number of units you need for 2,000. Hit enter. And that's 190 at 1050 for a $2,000 trade in this example. Okay, so these are pretty fully customizable order tickets. You can, depending on how much space and what your trading style is, you can play around with them there. And in this workspace, you've got an embedded order ticket you can use quite easily. Okay, let's look at floating tickets. So in this system, you've got floating tickets as well. F6 will give you a floating ticket that remembers the last thing that you've clicked on. All right, so F6 on this chart gives me a CBA ticket. If I'm looking at a CBA chart and I want a blank ticket, I hit F7. Okay, now I'm starting in the ticket code TLS, tab, volume, tab, and off we go. Okay, F8 and F9 just gives you the sold versions of that. Okay, you can also customize these floating tickets in the exact same way as your embedded ticket. All right, set your default. Tell me what you want your ticket to look like. come into the settings menu, hit set as default. Alright, you can have up to 10 of these floating tickets in the system. And so if you've got a whole bunch of buys and sells, you can, if you want to pre-fill those out, you're using them in the opening auction to, pre-fill a bunch of tickets and either send them into the market or just cancel them out. You've got full access to have 10 floating tickets in the system. In terms of navigating around and actually opening and closing trades, what are the different ways you do that? Let's start with, we've looked at the pod initially. You've got the buy ticket that you've got here as well. You've also got right-click functionality. So you've got embedded order tickets in this system, but you've got right-click functionality here as well. So right-click to bring up a floating market depth or a floating chart. You can do floating news as well. Right, if I just give you an example here, news. Alright, floating market depth. So you can have floating components in the system as well as embedded into the system. If you want to right-click for a buy order from the chart, that's fine. You can right-click from the market depth with a buy order. You can also double left-click from the market depth. Okay, it'll give you a buy if you click on the ask, a sell if you click on the bid. It'll give you the quantity on that line if you click on the best ask, and it'll give you the cumulative quantity if you click a few prices down below, just in case you want to sweep that market depth. Okay, so let's place some orders in the system. Let's look at order amendment and cancellation, because that is the heart of trading systems. Using your order tickets, managing a lot of positions, having to cancel, amend, volume, all that sort of stuff in in a high-paced environment. So let's look at PLS. Get 5,000 units, maybe 2,500 units at $3.80. I'll just put it on medium so we can see how much margin we're going to use. Okay, so we put this at 380. How do you cancel this order? The easiest way is to right-click, have all your options here for cancel, pause, modify, these options here, okay? You can also just click F1, have a look at the keyboard shortcuts. The platform is very keyboard friendly. We've tried to focus on that to, again, make sure you don't have to use the mouse too much. Go between mouse and keyboard for important functions. So, as I said, F6, 7, 8, 9, it brings up your buy and sell tickets that you'll use. If you look, Control C is cancel order, Control V is modify order. Okay, so you can right click and cancel, or you can just hit Control C on your keyboard. Okay, these order tickets are a little bit smarter than some trading systems. Right? You can take actions on multiple orders at the same time. Right? So if I put 3 orders in here for PLS, I can hold Control on my keyboard and select multiple orders. I can hold Shift, just go down to the bottom. Right, I can right click and I can cancel 3 orders at a time, or I can simply Control C, 3 orders at a time. In the top right hand corner, you notice there's a panic button. The panic button will just clear all open orders, so it's just left click on the panic button, enter on the keyboard to clear all the orders. Let's look at order amendment now. Order amendment is something you'll do a lot if you don't hit your price immediately. So multiple ways to do this. Right click, modify order. Okay, right click, modify order. The volume's highlighted by default, 379 overwrite, hit enter. Okay, do that again, right click, modify 380, enter. As all the tickets have tabbing logic, if you want to do volume, if you right click and modify and you want to do volume, shift tab, 600 units, enter. Okay, you can also double left click on the 380, that'll bring up a modified ticket that's a little bit quicker. You can also double left click on the target size here, that'll default to volume. Okay, so again, double left click, 601, enter. Double left click, 381, enter. Okay, Control V will also bring up a modified ticket defaulted to price. Control V, 380, enter. Okay, Control C, order gone. Let's look at opening and closing a position. Just quickly, just so some data gets in the system for you. Okay, if we look at West Farmers here, 12 units just to keep the order small, add market, buy order there, fill straight away. We can sort our positions component however we want. We've got our portfolio data in the top left hand corner looking at our GLV, initial margin, free equity. Okay, so all these columns are sortable. You can do it by long, short, quantity, etc. A positive volume indicates a long, negative volume indicates a short. So you could either just double left click on the bid side here. Okay, right, put 12 and hit enter. That's one way. You could use your embedded order ticket, change it to a sell, tab down. Change it to a sell, tab down, hit 12. Either type your price in or come across and hit market. Or what's much easier with this system is right click, close, enter. It's got the volume there. It's a buy. It's a long position, so it's defaulted to the bid price, and out you get. Let's look at amending to the best bidder offer, which is one useful feature here. So if we're in a short position, as we were just previously, okay, we change this to a buy order in West, and now we put an order below market to close this position, right? So we're short here this position, and this order is meant to close. Often, if you put an order into the system, you have to amend it. You're doing that because you want it to trade. You can amend it away, obviously. In many circumstances, you're amending to the best bidder offer and just making sure that this thing trades, right? If you want to close the position immediately, you'd have to come back and remember to cancel this order. So there's a handy feature in here, go to bid and go to ask. Okay, so if you have an order that you just want to move to the bid and offer immediately, in this case, if we move this buy order to the ask price, it's going to trade immediately. We don't have to bring up a modify ticket, type the price in or anything like that. It's as efficient as possible. Go to ask, the thing trades immediately. Okay, there's not even any confirmation and no ticket pops up. Okay, so that's another way to amend, particularly to the bidder offer, and cause things to trade. Let's have a look at parked orders. Parked orders are quite exciting. It's a new order type in which, if you're trading a lot of stocks, or if you've got an event coming up in which you need to make a lot happen quite quickly, there are other ways to manage it. Old Irish trader users might be familiar with having a bunch of buy orders, like I mentioned before, pre-filling these orders and just moving them around the screen, ordering them, cancelling them, sending them into market, they disappear, or cancelling them. If you want to do this in a way that doesn't take up so much real estate and allows you to take action on multiple orders straight away, you can use parked orders. A parked order just fills out any order type you want, limit, market, doesn't matter, buy, sell. It puts it into your order pad or your blotter in a parked stage, and then one at a time with your mouse or with your keyboard, you can push these into the market, so they go from parked and ready to into the market instantly. Okay, you can do this in groups of orders or one at a time. Okay, so if I park this West Farmers buy, and if I do a Woolworths sell, I park that as well. You can see these orders. I'll just put an ordinary order into the market here now, below market, so you can see the difference. Right, so this is an ordinary order in the market. These two are unparked, and then one at a time I can right click and unpark. Right click and unpark this, or I can highlight both again, right click and unpark two orders. Control F1 F1 brings up the keyboard shortcuts. Just look again, Control U is unpark. Okay, so that's another feature that is keyboard friendly. So you can use your imagination, but if you're an ASX trader and you're trading the opening auction, you can do a whole bunch of parked orders you may take. Sort the ticker codes alphabetically. Group 1, you're in AKE, ABC, then maybe, look at Group 2, Group 3. You could be trading multiple stocks in that group, in which case you might highlight both orders. Right? You can Control V and amend it in its parked stage. You can change anything about a parked order, its order type, the price, the units, anything you want. And then if you want to take these two in whatever group they are, this is, in a later group in the open, you just unpark them together. Look, one more scenario I'll give you. If it's an interest rate decision and you've got some interest rate sensitive stocks that you're thinking about, maybe you're thinking about JBH trade as well, and you've got 10 units of this, and you're thinking, okay, if this interest rate decision goes a particular way, you'd like to buy these two at the same time while also selling this stock here. Okay, and what this will allow you to do is take all three trades immediately. Right, so if I'll do that with my keyboard. Okay, unpark that one. I'll unpark this, Control U, or unpark this one, Control U. Okay, so that's just they haven't traded. I've put those at limit prices, so they won't execute. But if they were market orders, they would have traded straight away. So that's what an unparked order is. It's just going to make your life a little bit easier if you need to do a basket of stocks quite quickly. I'll just cancel those for now. Last thing, two things I'll get into just before we leave is the play and pause function. So play and pause, if you change the filtering of the order pad here, we just look at all the buys and sells. A play and pause is when you create an order and then cancel it, and then use the, let me just check here. Yeah, the action icon is right here. Just move it over. Okay, so if I put an order in here for JBH at, let's go buy at $49 even. Alright, I'll just do a little bit bigger order size so it goes into the market. Okay, so this column here, the action column, it's got a pause symbol on it. If I press the pause symbol, right, that pause turns into a play symbol, and now I can bring that order from dead back or cancelled back into the market with one click. Okay, so it's different to a parked order because a parked order takes up initial margin, whereas this order is not in the market at all. I have cancelled it, and if I need to use that order again at any time, I can press play, and that order is now in the market. So I don't need to bring up an order ticket, I don't need to reconfirm any details, it's just play, pause, in the market, out of the market. Just another way to manage different orders here. You could be looking in the opening auction, thinking about some orders you want to take, you could place them, cancel them, and you'd have a bunch of orders sitting here with a play symbol that you can use at any time you want, just with one click. Okay, so we're just thinking about possible scenarios in which you might want to save yourself time. Last thing, before we let you go, try to keep these videos short, is the custom order key feature. Okay, so with a floating order ticket here, what's an order ticket? It's just an electronic form you're sending into the exchange with information about what you want to trade. Okay, so the custom hotkey feature will allow you to the system to remember any of these details on the order, particular volume, whether it's a limit or a market type. You could set some custom hotkeys up for best execution. You could set the exact same ones up for ASX, CP, and Chi-X mid. It's literally open to whatever your trading strategy is, anything that you can think of that helps. But let's say you're just trading at market with particular volumes. A really simple example. Maybe you're doing 5,000 unit buy orders at market, and you want to be able to bring this up really quickly. Come to the hotkey section, right? You can save the position that it opens up. Come to the hotkey section and do 5K by MKT for short, and we give it a Control Shift and then some sort of keyboard combination. Okay, so Control Shift C, for example. Right, we'll just do a sell version of that. Sell 5K market, and we'll give this a Control Shift D. Sorry. Okay, now when we hit F1, you can see I've just created Control Shift C and Control Shift E down the bottom there. Okay, so by pressing those keyboard combinations, I can get a ticket to pop up straight away. So Control Shift C, Control Shift E. Right, so whatever, you do a bit of work on what your trading strategy is, that you can mix this in with contingent orders. It could be a buy for 5,000 units with a 10-point stop, a sell for 4,000 units with a 9-point stop, percentage-based stop. The possibilities, there are really many different combinations you could come up with. The important thing is if you want to save time because you're trading in a similar way, we want you to have a keyboard combination that brings that ticket to market. You could do a whole set of combinations for one destination, like best execution, a whole set for center point or Chi-X or Chi-X mid. So that's it, we'll leave it there. We'll try to go through as many, I mean, we didn't touch on more obvious things like the charting package. It has a full inbuilt charting package with full list of indicators, and we might go through some different workspaces in the next video. Thanks for your time.